Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, much cooler than our 91-degree high temperature yesterday. Today, as we look down at our beautiful friends at the north in Leavenworth from our Tumwater Canyon, thanks to a Sky-Fi for this great shot. A lot cooler today, as I mentioned, about at least 10 degrees cooler than those high temperatures yesterday. We are seeing more clouds today, and a weak cold front is moving through. And I'll tell you what, we're going to stay, though, with some warm and dry weather conditions, at least for the next couple of days. Tomorrow we'll get a break from all the wind that we saw today, and then very windy once again by Wednesday, above normal temperatures through Wednesday, and then just a flip-flop in our weather for Thursday and Friday with much cooler temperatures, a little bit of breezy, windy conditions, and some showers are possible, especially towards the end of the week. And we'll have more on that coming up in your weather forecast a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A group of teenagers face charges in connection with a drinking party on Birch Mountain Saturday night. A kayaker was rescued yesterday afternoon after he fell out of his boat and became stranded on a sandbar on the Wenatchee River. And 7 people were injured Saturday afternoon when a motorhome collided head-on with a vehicle about half a mile south of Carlton. But first, we begin tonight. A 4-year-old boy escaped serious injuries in a weekend cougar attack at a popular Leavenworth park. The attack happened around 9 p.m. Saturday at Enchantment Park. The boy was treated for minor injuries. Captain Mike Jewell of the Washington Fish and Wildlife Department, he said that it was not the first encounter that day between people and the cougar at the park.
So this all started on Saturday afternoon when we got a call about a cougar sighting in Enchantment Park in Leavenworth. And some of the behavior that was described to us was that obviously it was open, or was out in the open in the middle of the daytime, and was moving towards some people that were in the park, which is unusual behavior for a cougar. But fortunately, when they began to make noise, stand up, make themselves a little larger, they were able to successfully scare the cougar away, which is totally normal behavior and exactly what we hope for and encourage people to do if they ever do encounter one. So we did send some officers down to investigate that. They conducted a thorough search of the area where the cougar had been observed and the surrounding area. But unfortunately, because it was in the middle of the day, the heat of the afternoon, I think it was close to 90 degrees in Leavenworth on Saturday. Tracking conditions are not very good under those circumstances. So our plan was to come back the following morning with dogs to see if we could locate the cougar. And then we were able to work with park officials there in Leavenworth to go ahead and close down the park just as a precaution. Later on that evening, a little after 9 p.m., there actually were several people in the park, but we had a young boy that was attacked by the cougar, came out and knocked him over. The boy's family immediately responded to that. They let some dogs go. They approached the cougar and were able to intervene and successfully scare it away. And fortunately, the boy was not seriously injured, which we are extremely relieved that the incident wasn't more serious. I could only imagine what a frightening experience that must have been for him and his family. And we're just really relieved that it turned out the way that it did. But we responded to that incident as well as the Washington State Patrol and the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. We're able to contact some local hound handlers that we have used in the past. They brought their hound dogs down that are specially trained for pursuing cougars, and we were able to successfully track and remove the cougar from the park.
Captain Jewell said killing the cougar was unfortunate but necessary. Meanwhile, a group of teenagers face charges in connection with a drinking party on Birch Mountain Saturday night. Jason Reinfeld with Chelan County Sheriff's Office says deputies made contact with about 25 young people between 16 and 21 years of age who were partying near the top of the hill.
The child was located later on down the river, approximately half a mile, maybe a mile. Well, it is, especially the transportation to and from the area, especially if alcohol is involved, and that's what we just want it to be known we're out there patrolling this time of year, and this year specifically, we've put out a significant amount of extra patrols, and our hopes are to prevent parties like this from happening in the first place versus actually coming across them.
Law enforcement is amping up its emphasis patrols to control teen graduation parties as part of the Everybody Walks campaign. A kayaker was rescued yesterday afternoon after he fell out of his boat and became stranded on a sandbar on the Wenatchee River. Chelan County Sheriff's Office spokesman once again, Jason Reinfeld, says the man became separated from his 10-year-old son who was in a separate kayak.
The child was located later on down the river, approximately half a mile, maybe a mile down from that point on the shore, and they were reunited. The father was on the sandbar, and with assistance from Douglas County 2 and a small boat, they were able to bring him to shore.
Reinfeld says there were no injuries and both kayakers were wearing life vests. 7 people were injured Saturday afternoon when a motorhome collided head-on with a vehicle on Highway 153 about a half mile south of Carlton. 3 of the 7 injured were taken to the hospital and the others treated at the scene. None of the injuries were critical. Emergency responders also had to deal with a propane leak from the motorhome. Multiple agencies responded to the accident, which happened about 2:30 Saturday afternoon. And other news coming up next, an 8-year-old boy suffered a broken back after the vehicle he was riding in went over an embankment and rolled near Quincy early Sunday. A Moses Lake man who's made a habit of trying to elude police tried again Friday night, but his luck once again, ran out, and firefighters made quick work of a small brush fire off Highway 2 near Cashmere earlier today. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you, we drop it off, then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. An 8-year-old boy suffered a broken back after the vehicle he was riding in went over an embankment and rolled near Quincy early Sunday. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, the driver of the F-150 pickup is suspected of being drunk. 36-year-old Burnaby De Leon Garza was driving the pickup east on Road 7 Northwest. It's about 12:30 a.m. when he failed to stop at a stop sign. The vehicle then went through the intersection, over an embankment, and slammed into the bottom of an irrigation canal and rolled onto its top. 3 children were in the back seat, at least one of whom was not restrained. The 8-year-old boy was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where he underwent surgery. The 2 other children, a female passenger and De Leon Garza, were treated at the scene. The sheriff's office said charges are pending against De Leon Garza. A Moses Lake man who has made a habit of trying to elude police tried again Friday night, but his luck once again ran out. The latest incident actually started earlier Friday when 38-year-old Robert Gwynn, riding a motorcycle, was chased into Moses Lake by Grant County Sheriff's deputies. But deputies ended the pursuit out of concern for the safety of residents. However, deputies were later able to locate Gwynn in the Cascade Valley area of Moses Lake, where he again led them on a chase. This time, Gwynn crashed the motorcycle and tried to flee on foot in the area of Stanley Drive Northeast and Lee Drive Northeast before being caught. Gwynn already has a warrant out for his arrest related to a previous pursuit. And in September, he was sentenced to 6 months in jail after violating a protective order and leading police on yet, you guessed it, another long chase. Firefighters made quick work of a small brush fire this morning about a mile west of Kashmir on Highway 2. The fire, spurred on by 20-mile-per-hour winds, was called in around 10 o'clock, and fire crews were on the scene shortly after. At one point, the blaze did get dangerously close to trees located at a residence nearby, but firefighters were able to soak the vegetation and nearby ground to prevent it from spreading. The fire briefly closed the westbound lane of Highway 2. No word yet on what caused that fire. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Now that the wildfire season is upon us, it's a good time to make sure your home is fire safe. NCWLIFE's Eric Granstrom tells us more.
With above normal temperatures and dry, windy weather dominating our spring, it's not too early to prepare for wildfire. Chelan County Fire District 1 Chief Brian Brett says his department is available to help you assess the risk of wildfire to your home and surrounding area.
We just received a grant through FEMA, a Cooperative Technical Partners grant that allows us to get a flight over the fire district with a 3-inch resolution, 360 degrees. And with that photo imagery, we'll be able to do driveway measurements, width and height, slope aspect, vegetation measurements, and a complete detailed parcel assessment from our office. We intend to send that information to the homeowners and try and open the door for us to come in and do these detailed home assessments.
Chief Brett says Fire District 1 will be mapped out in detail to provide firefighters and homeowners a more accurate means of assessing risks.
We're dividing the fire district up into sub-planning areas. The Chelan County just completed the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for the whole county. Within Fire District 1, we are considered Planning Area E. We are dividing our Planning Area E up into sub-planning zones. For example, Forest Ridge is already a sub-planning zone, and they have developed their own Community Wildfire Protection Plan, which is excellent. We want to take the appendix portion out of that with structure protection plans and potential resource orders, etc., for the rest of the fire district.
More information relating to wildfire preparation can be found on the Chelan County website. Eric Granstrom, NCWLIFE Channel News.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And boy, that is important stuff there from Captain Brian Brett. Things very, very dry. Actually, we're about where we should be moisture-wise, but with the wind we're seeing today and temperatures over the weekend, 88 our high temperature on Saturday, 91 yesterday. Things will dry out quickly, and as we showed you with that brush fire earlier today, doesn't take much to get things started out there, but a beautiful day as we look down from our Tumwater Mountain camera down at the Leavenworth area. A few mid and high level clouds throughout north central Washington today, and that actually kept our temperatures down a little bit, along with the help of a cold front that slid through north central Washington last night and this morning. There is another one headed our way, and that won't be for the next couple of days. We'll get to that in a second. But first today, temperatures, as I mentioned, still above normal, but much cooler than over the weekend. 80 degrees unofficially our high temperature today. That's just slightly above where we should be for this time of year at 76, right in the ballpark as far as low temperatures go. We started off this morning at 55 degrees. Your record high is scorching 98 degrees set back in 1970, and our record cold pretty chilly in 1976 at 38 degrees. Sunrise this morning at 5:07, and the sun will set tonight at 8:51. Now let's show you our surface loop. We're going to start out tonight with our wind map because we did see a lot of wind today. We're still going to see some of that tonight out of the west, 10 to 15 miles an hour. We could see gusts as high as 21 miles an hour. The reason, high pressure here, low pressure here, and in between that, the pressure gradients get very tightly packed together. You can see that through Washington, and that will be our scenario over the next few days. Not so bad for Tuesday, but things will kick back up wind-wise as we get into Wednesday, as we begin to see slightly cooler temperatures as well. You can see right over the Wenatchee area, very tight pressure gradients, and that will kick those winds up between 20 and 25 miles an hour on Wednesday. And now we switch to our temperature map because things will be much cooler as we get into the end of the week. Mostly sunny skies Thursday, much cooler. These gold and yellow temperatures are only upper 50s to upper 60s, and that's where we'll be by the end of the week. Friday, unseasonably cool, mostly sunny. We're talking only in the 50s back into parts of western Washington by the time we get into Friday. High pressure is slowly creeping into the western part of the United States, and that will begin to warm us up just as we get into our upcoming weekend. Saturday, sunny skies and warmer temperatures. We'll get back into the mid-70s, about where we should be. And then as we end the weekend on Sunday, a wide area of gold and even some orange colors indicating possibly 80 degrees. And we could see it here in the Wenatchee Valley on Sunday under sunny skies. So a bit of some wind for the next couple of days, much cooler by the end of the weekend, and then back to normal and even a little bit above normal as we get into the end of the weekend. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to where we should be for this time of year at 53 degrees, 81 your high on Tuesday. Not as windy tomorrow, so enjoy it if you have the chance because the winds will be back on Wednesday, and that will be the beginning of a pretty big cool down as we get into the end of the week. Mostly sunny and only 72 on Thursday. 70 is all we'll muster on Friday under mostly sunny skies, and then that slow warm up, as I mentioned, will begin on Saturday with sunny skies and 75 degrees expected. By Sunday, sunny and warmer, high then at 81 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good Monday to you. Earlier this season, it was the Mariners putting up crooked numbers while leading the American League West. These days, they're giving up crooked numbers and are last in the division. Such was the case again Sunday at T-Mobile Park as the Angels scored 7 in the second, 5 in the fifth, en route to a 13-3 victory. Albert Pujols did much of the damage himself, driving in 5 runs, including a 3-run home run in that 7-run second. David Fletcher and Mike Trout also delivered 3 hits apiece as the Halos had 15 hits in the ballgame. Seattle starter Marco Gonzalez had another rough outing, surrendering 10 runs on 9 hits in 4 2/3 with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Los Angeles scored 7 runs in the second inning and another 5 in the fifth. It's the 6th time in the Mariners' last 12 losses that Seattle has surrendered big numbers to an opposing team, something manager Scott Service not happy about.
The big inning, they're in the second inning, some defensive plays, some things that we didn't really make good decisions on ended up turning into a big inning again, and we've seen that. We've played this game a few times this year. About had enough of it, quite frankly. So we will switch up things a little bit tomorrow. We're going to run an opener out there, and Wade LeBlanc will pitch after that. We're just where we're at, trying to create a situation. We're getting a little bit more out of our guys in the right spots, and we'll give it a shot.
As you see there, Seattle has not announced who will start in front of LeBlanc for tonight's first game against Houston. Mariners finished May 7-21 and are now 0-2 for the month of June. Service said it's frustrating to lose, but even more troublesome to see his club play bad baseball.
We don't throw strikes, and you don't play defense. You don't make plays. I mean, that's it's hard to watch. And you'll have ups and downs with the bat, but you got to make the plays. You got to throw strikes, and when that doesn't happen, it's bad baseball, is what it is. And I know we're young in some spots, we're inexperienced in some other spots, but you got to continue to do the right things, and it's about throwing it over the plate and catching the ball.
After losing 3 of 4 to the Halos, Seattle will try to snap that losing trend against one of the best teams in baseball tonight. Houston Astros first pitch at 7:10. Taking a look at the American League West scoreboard, the Les Schwab scoreboard, if you will. Adrian Sampson won his 4th straight as he struck out 11 to lead Texas past Kansas City 5-1. Houston scored 2 runs in the top of the 12th to beat Oakland yesterday 6-4. The win concluded a 3-game weekend series sweep by the A's by the Astros. Houston and Minnesota lead the American League with 40 wins on the season. The Dodgers are tops in baseball with 41 wins so far. Well, the University of Washington softball team survived 2 elimination games Saturday, but lost a heartbreaker to UCLA Sunday at the College Women's World Series. After beating Minnesota Saturday morning 5-3, the Huskies topped Oklahoma State 1-0 to advance to Sunday. Yesterday's game was scoreless through the 7th. then the 8th, then the 9th, and went to the 10th. That's until Rachel Garcia unloaded a walk-off 3-run home run to put the Bruins into the championship game. Number 2 seed UCLA will face number 1 seed Oklahoma in the first of the best-of-3 series coming up tonight. Well, the Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 42-34 win over Tri-Cities yesterday down south. The two teams will meet again this Saturday here in the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Oh, hey. It's baseball season. Wenatchee Apple Sox begin its 20th season of summer collegiate baseball tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Wenatchee will host the Cascade Collegiate Showcase team tonight at 6:35. According to Joel Norman, voice of the Apple Sox, 24 of the 37 signed players are in town for tonight's opener. You can hear Joel and the Apple Sox games on Sunny FM around North Central Washington. After tonight's game, the Sox will begin West Coast League play with Victoria in town for the first of 3 tomorrow night. And yes, I'll be throwing out the first pitch tomorrow night. I have not even thrown yet, so it'll be interesting. That'll be tomorrow night. Again, 6:35 game time. I'll join Joel also in the booth to call a few innings on radio. First Apple Sox game here on the NCWLIFE channel will be a couple of Saturdays from now when they'll host Walla Walla. We're looking forward to that. So, go Sox. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric, and I will be at that Apple Sox game tonight myself. Finally tonight, as we let you go, a heads up for those of you traveling over US 97 Blewett Pass. Be prepared for up to 30-minute delays this week. Work will continue on the Boundary Bridge Fish Barrier. It's a removal project near Swak Creek Campground, which is located 5 miles south of the summit. There will be single-lane, flagger-controlled traffic through that area. Additionally, crews will be removing hazardous trees between mileposts 168 and 178, which will include full closures of up to 30 minutes at a time. Both of these projects will be active throughout this week. Motorists are advised to add extra time for trips through that area. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
We get to a point where people are really like, okay, I have these weird things going on, and they just lay it all out with us, and you can tell they're like kind of embarrassed, and we're like, we've heard it all, we love this, and we know exactly what you're talking about. And you can tell they're like, you know, they came in thinking, how am I going to talk about this?
To me, there's nothing else in the world quite as special as when a baby is born, and why would I want to do anything else?
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
I'm Jenny Kerstetter, and you are watching the NCW Life channel.